hear it.
There it is.
The Demonetized podcast.
There's so much going on that we have trouble keeping up with all the different areas of interest.
And welcome to the Demonetized podcast, episode 7. I am one of your hosts, Nick. Also joining me on cam here on the ones and twos is Alex Sipes.
What up, guys?
And on B cam there, we got Colin Fleming.
Hi, everybody.
And special guest again for another episode in a row there, Patrick Derrickson joining us again.
That's good.
And as usual, we're recording these in twos, so same outfits and everything. Yeah. But we have now refilled on pizza. We got some more beers going on now. So I am drinking some IPA, but I normally don't really like IPAs. But this is the Cumbre Elevated IPA. New Mexico, I suppose. That's pretty good. Sipes, you drinking anything cool?
Finishing up the air dinger, but then I opened up this. What is it? Celebrator? It's a Doppelbock. It's a Bavarian double bock.
Nice.
Very elaborate, but it's good. It's a pretty simple beer, despite it being very busy on the label.
I'm drinking Bud Light, the champagne of champagnes.
How many have you had so far?
Classic Pat.
This is 3.
That
Nice.
is 3. That is actually 3. Okay.
And how about you, Colin?
I don't have anything right now.
All right. Yeah, that's okay.
I will go grab something in a little bit.
So,
God, this is good.
I feel like that theme song sounds like Hillsong Church was about to do like some video and they're like trying to be cool, so they like made that video with like the guitar, and then it was like a video about like why you shouldn't have sex.
Wait, what?
That's what that's what the theme song reminds me of.
Wait,
Really? No, it's not bad. It's just that's what it sounds like to me.
That's
It's a very slight.
you put in the words how yeah.
It's like that's the if like I could edit that perfectly to a Hillsong video and then be like, this is why you should only hold hands or you're gonna get pregnant.
Or like, you know, it's
And
like
go to hell.
it's like the power team, like those Christian weightlifting team, you know, they'd like come out like they're like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
This is why Sipes is listed as the youth pastor.
Yeah, the kindly youth pastor.
Youth
Because he's making all the least churchy of all of us, and he's making all of our dank Christian content.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Jesus is smiling down on you.
I hope so.
I'm
I haven't.
A-N-A.
I haven't been to church in a long time, so I'm glad he's still like with the program. Hasn't given up on me. You guys and my family and Jesus haven't given up on me yet.
Not completely.
Not completely. Nick is like halfway out the door.
We're getting there.
What's the R&B singer who sings My Pony?
What?
My little pony.
My Little
No.
Pony?
My pony. You know what I'm talking about. Everyone knows that song. Come on.
No one knows what you're
Are
talking
you
about.
gonna pull a thing
here.
up?
Can I do it? Can I
Yeah.
play like 20 seconds of it?
You're gonna get
What's the copyright?
You're
like,
gonna get
limit?
us demonetized.
What's the copyright?
Oh, he said yeah, we already lost our jobs.
It's
Colin. No
Genuine.
money.
Genuine. He was on Parks and Rec too.
Genuine?
Oh, are you talking about Lil Sebastian? And
No,
it's his rap
no,
about Lil
no,
Sebastian?
this is like a genuine pop hit from the '96.
Oh.
96.
I was 1, dude. Come on. Oh, this?
Yeah.
He says my pony in this?
I don't recognize this.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Nice. Yeah.
Jesus.
That's what your shirt reminded me of. Cut to side shirt.
Oh.
Ride the pony.
Ride the pony.
I don't know.
That's what that was from.
I don't know how I feel about that shirt.
Okay, so when my dad's family has a 66 Mustang, and when we went to what can only be described as the private junkyard, also where I acquired the Cannon from, they had the Mustang, and we were going to resurrect it. My mom bought us all these shirts, and from that point on, like literally for the past 6 or 7 years, my dad's just been every time he's like, ride the pony. Why are you still single?
Hey, girl.
Ride the pony.
I used to
Ride
really
the
want like a
pony.
'60s Mustang, and like the quarterback of the football team in high school that I didn't like got one, and I was like, oh fuck.
No. Okay,
So
late
I
six,
got
like
that guy.
68, like the Mach 1, I think
He was
are
not
far
even mean.
superior Mustangs than like the 66.
Yeah, yeah. I had like a weird complex in high school where like me and all my friends, because we were like the band geeks, we like really wanted people to be mean to us, but they just weren't.
You like
Like,
kind of
we wanted it.
you needed to suffer for
Yeah,
the art.
we
you know?
wanted
That's why
like,
we joined band.
Yeah, we wanted like the classic like people don't like us thing, but like everyone was fine with us. Like we all got girlfriends and stuff. It was fine.
Did you guys have an AV club in high school?
No.
Or middle school?
No, band was like the thing.
Okay.
We had like I think we had a 400 person high school and we had 130 people in band. So it was like
Oh,
it
damn.
was huge.
That was the thing
Like
to
a
do.
fourth of the high school.
Like over a fourth of the high school was in
Jesus.
band. And then like
Speaking-
plus choir and theater after that.
Speaking of cars,
Oh, sorry.
I bought a car.
Whoa,
Nick had a car.
Hey Nick, what kind of car did you buy?
Nick bought a 2015 Prii.
Yep.
Two of them.
I bought two
heard that gets
Prius.
good gas mileage.
I need two.
Just Prii.
I bought a. So this was a long time coming. I didn't really know what to do. I almost bought a 2018 Volkswagen GTI. I almost did it. I sat in there. I figured out financing. I was about to put a bunch of money down, and then I was like, "No, this is too big. It's too quiet. It's too new. I don't need this right now." So I went out and bought. I actually don't even have any good pictures of it yet.
Can you
so
pull it up?
we're going to Google.
Ooh. Oh, I see that.
I bought a.
Can we not give Google this type of advertising?
Oh, sorry.
You have to.
Please go to Dogpile.
Please use DuckDuckGo.
Duck, duck,
Please
go.
go to askjeeves.com.
So I bought a 1999 Audi A4 Avant, which Avant is Audi speak for wagon, and it has a manual and it has Quattro, and it is my favorite thing. This is
Acting like you're trying to be quiet.
this is pretty close. This is pretty close to what mine looks like right now, and this one is kind of what it might turn into eventually.
Oh, man. Well,
Something
you're going to.
like that.
Okay, what's your plan? What do you. You
gonna
said
call it the Shaggin'
you
Wagon?
had a
So
little bit of a
so
plan.
so it looks like this right now. Basically, mine is already on wheels from an RS4, which was the performance model. So it's on RS4 wheels, which look okay, but they're a little beat up. So I'm going to get those refinished in like a burnt bronze powder coat because I'm a sucker for bronze wheels on stuff. We're going to do that. We're going to lower it a little bit on coilovers so it'll handle better. It already handles okay, given that the suspension's like 130,000 miles and like 20 years old, almost 20 years old. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's super minty inside. It looks a little newer than that, but it's pretty sweet. So I'm really happy with that. I'm sure I'll get some good pictures of it and we'll throw it up on the next show. But yeah, it drives like perfectly what it is. And so now it's something I can go camping with and haul stuff. And
How much did you pay for it? If you don't mind me
No,
asking.
no,
I don't know
yeah.
if that's
no, I spent $4,700 on it.
Oh, that's a good deal.
130,000 miles on it. It's a 2-owner car, and the guy I bought it from had it for the last 12 years with 12 years of maintenance records in a binder that I have. So this guy had like 9 cars. He had a couple of E30s. He had a couple of OG like Audi Quattros, like the old school
Oh,
like
shit.
80s rally ones.
Yeah, yeah.
So apparently he has 2 of those sitting at home, and like he has like a built Land Cruiser that his family goes off-roading in Moab with. Like they have land up there.
So expensive.
Yeah, and so this was like literally he talks about they had that from Moab, but then he was from Colorado, so they would go up to like Breckenridge and go skiing a lot. And the car that I bought was their like ski trip car. So they had a set of snow tires for it. They had a ski rack they'd put on top, and then they would just like mob up to Breckenridge a couple times a year.
Did he give you the rack and the snow tires?
I have a set of wheels with no tire. I have an extra set of wheels with no tires on them.
Okay.
Which I'm probably just going to sell. And then no ski rack, but I'm going to put a ski rack on it. My idea, too, is to kind of go, like, period correct modifications with it. So, like, what was cool in, like, 2002. And so I think we're going to do like, a ski rack on it and, like, just do not quite Fast and Furious, but
2002 car mods.
some of that stuff. So like, I want the single DIN flip up head unit, you know, where the screen comes out and like flips up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna do one of those, and I'm gonna do the roof rack on it.
Why is so much GTA coming up?
I don't know. I think because GTA has mods as like the main search term for like a lot of that.
Come on, stop burping in the microphone.
I wasn't. That was a cough.
Yeah. So
Stop coughing in the microphone.
Sorry.
Lean away from the mic when you breathe in.
oh baby.
Do a 95 Land Cruiser,
Yeah. Why do you want a 95 Land Cruiser?
because those are the dopest ones.
Wait, so this guy he's a car guy, clearly, but is he a rally guy?
No, kind of general. So he has like a track prep, like E30 and like stuff like that.
Like that black one down there.
Oh, he actually
Middle,
races the
middle.
E30?
No. Up. No, up. Yeah, that one. Yeah, no, up. No, up. Okay, left.
Row
Left.
2 middle
Left.
photo.
Left.
Oh,
There.
this.
Fire.
Jeez.
I dream of one day getting one of the Icon FJs.
I'm a big Toyota fan.
Someday I'm gonna get an Aztec.
So there's this guy, Jonathan Ward, who basically built this company that buys old Icons, and his approach to car design and stuff is traditional aesthetic, but with modern technology to it. So he puts like Chevy V8s in it. Like this 4-door one, that never existed as a real car.
That's cool.
He builds them. So they have like a Chevy LS motor up in front, built off-road hardware, and then the interiors are all architectural, like materials and stuff.
So he extended the body, though, right?
Yeah.
I hate.
Wow.
I don't like modern FJ Cruisers at all.
So he, no.
Oh,
that's
modern
not one
ones
of
are-
his.
They're they became soccer mom
Yeah,
cars.
they look like warts.
I mean, I just see a lot of soccer mom.
Right, they are fully off-road capable though.
No, I'm not saying they're bad
Those
cars.
are
I just
made.
don't really like
they are
them
made
anymore.
in a separate factory than every other Toyota thing.
Like that looks so like cool and like military, like Jeepish to me.
Yeah, it's 150.
I don't like
grand.
modern Jeeps really either.
150 grand?
150 grand.
Holy shit.
Because basically he takes everything that was plastic and replaces it with metal.
Oh, this is this guy's.
I've
Okay,
heard
Yeah.
of this.
all
I've
right.
heard
Oh,
of
I
this.
thought you meant like the stock one.
No, the stock new ones are like 90.
They featured this on Uncrate.
I bet. But he takes everything that was plastic and swaps it out with like aircraft aluminum, like it's all machined. They do on a lot of their cars, they do like tinted glass, but he couldn't find a company that made tints that he thought were good enough, so he went to like architectural skyscraper glass manufacturers. So
What?
they do those. They do he was really famous for the Icon Broncos, where he was taking
I like
Ford
Broncos.
and like just doing them right. And so these things are pretty dope. Like these exist on like an alternate timeline from like real cars.
My parents got like a 70s pull trailer,
Yeah.
just to like camp trailer, and I really wanted them to get a Bronco to put like a 70s like to pull the
Yeah.
70s
Oh,
trailer.
did you
I
get
thought
one of
that'd
those
be, like,
power wagons
fully
from the
commit to the
60s?
aesthetic. It's a Sarascotti.
They make these
So-
ones. These ones are called derelicts, where the outside is all patinaed, but underneath it's like a performance chassis and like engine swaps and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
So those are
Patina.
super cool.
How about you dare?
Wait, what's the base car? What
Patina
is
roll-
that?
Oh,
So that's
What?
like a Buick.
How about you
That's like a
dare
55 Buick.
Okay, all right.
But then they have the reformers, where they just
get it.
remake. They actually remake and redo the old cars.
That's a completely different front end, isn't it? That doesn't look like anything I've seen at like Barrett Jackson or anything like that.
No.
Does he
Well-
do Jeeps?
Yeah. So like
I wanna see his
this.
Jeeps, man.
They had a cool Wagoneer. Yeah, here we go. The Kaiser Jeep Wagoneer. So like that is one of the ones that they did. So
Oh, it's- okay,
So
all
it's like
right.
a $200,000 Kaiser. That was before like Jeep bought them. It was the Kaiser Jeep Wagoneer.
Does he do like CJs or anything like that?
No.
No? Oh, man, that would have been cool.
No.
This guy should
Everything
pay-
of those are already
pay-
metal, though.
And then he has some just nutsy like concepts. Like one of them is called the Helios, and basically is that it? Yeah.
What?
He wants to put a Tesla drivetrain in this
Okay.
and make all that out of hand-formed aluminum, and Elon won't let them. There's a bunch of like Tesla engineers who sent like a letter to Elon's desk, like with the title like "Chocolate to our peanut butter" kind of thing, and like Elon like won't let him do it, but he
Damn it.
wants to build this thing.
What they really want to do is work for Local Motors, and they want Local Motors to be a viable business.
Except Local Motors is shitty.
Oh, well, yeah.
I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about.
That's okay.
I like local motors, but their cars are janky.
Balls,
I mean-
Captain.
If you can't build like a not janky car, then like what do you got? You know?
Well, yeah.
Why do you have Pokeballs in your things?
I have a Pokemon theme. I've had this for a while. Like the loading page is like minimalist Lapras. I don't know. I've just never gotten rid of it. It makes me smile.
Hey,
I
Oh,
like-
they're in your.
I-
Oh, that's cool.
What's your favorite Pokemon?
Ooh, my favorite Pokemon? Probably Eevee.
I like the
Or
ice
one of
cream
the-
cone guy from like the 7th generation. I like the trash can Pokemon.
Can we talk about Pokemon for a few seconds?
Yeah.
Has anybody seen the new Pokemon game coming out for the Switch?
I saw the headline,
I
but
heard
do you want to
about it,
explain?
yeah.
Like, what's the move?
So essentially, they are making a Pokemon game for the Switch that is loosely connected to Pokemon Go.
But not. They were like really
But-
quick to clarify,
so
right?
You can transfer your Pokemon from Pokemon Go into this game,
Kinda
but not
pisses
vice
me off.
versa. So you can't transfer them from the game into Pokemon Go. Only your current Pokemon. However, can you look up the Switch controller that they're making for this game? Because I'm not like I don't fully understand everything that's going into this game. But all I know is like the Joy-Con that they're making for it is one of the fucking coolest things I've ever seen, and I really want one.
Oh,
yeah,
so
we need
it's
to
a
pull
Pokeball,
up.
right?
Yeah,
Cool.
What's a Joy-Con?
They're the-
controllers used for the Switch.
The Joy controllers.
Oh,
You don't have a Switch.
Oh, there it is.
I don't have a Switch.
Neither do I.
So which one are we
I
talking
can't
here?
justify it.
Go to the one
'Cause
with Pikachu.
I heard
yeah,
I
sure.
know the term joystick and I know the term controller.
So this is the controller that they're making for this game in particular, which has like the Joy-Con
and you just
And
as
for,
the center.
for anyone listening on the audio, it looks from this picture, it looks like a Pokeball on a lanyard, kind of.
Yeah, basically.
wait,
but-
how do you run?
But that plugs into your Switch.
I think you use the Joy-Con for it. Like
So it's this in addition to the regular
Yeah,
Joy-Con.
but that's how you walk. How do you run?
Walk
Can
it-
you-
Because I'm trying to
It
think of all the
has-
buttons in Pokemon. There's only like 4.
no,
so-
it's not a Pokemon game though. Like it's not like it's not like Pokemon Ruby.
Not entirely. From what I've
Rude,
seen,
that's
there's a lot of
random.
stuff in relation
What?
to it.
Ruby's
Is it
a
not an
random one.
RPG
It's
like
not
the
like a
other
Ruby. That's
I mean, Ruby
it's just like you didn't say like blue.
Ruby was the last one I fully played through.
Okay.
So that's
That's
my
like
that's where
Groudon.
Groudon. That's
So-
where my Pokemon stops.
As-
Groudon and Rayquaza and Salamence.
As far as I understand,
Kyogre.
this controller, the bottom and the top both like work as like a clicking type. Like you can click the bottom and the top of the ball, but it has a lot of motion controls involved in it. So I don't know.
Colin-
how you run,
Oh, that's
but
a
Colin
firm
and I
grip.
worked with a girl who interned at Niantic.
She didn't. She was going to.
I thought she did afterwards.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Well, her professor like was part of it.
Please hire us, person that we need.
No, I don't want to do that. I'm poor.
So okay, so is it in addition to the regular Joy-Con or Pro Controller that you get this Pokeball thing, or is it that
So
the only thing that
you
you
can
use?
play the game without that, but that is specific to this game,
Okay.
and it is
Pokemon Let's Go.
Let's go, Pikachu or Eevee.
Pokemon Let's Go. Too little, too late.
What?
Is this too little, too late for Pokemon on a console?
Nah, I think this.
I
is
want
gonna,
Pokemon Stadium 5.
So you can battle
Pokemon
with
Snap.
people.
Why did they
PvP
never
in
let
this
people
game.
battle
Snap,
in
fire.
Pokemon Go?
I mean, technically, you could.
You could.
Kind of.
That's not what
you
people
could
did
battle
though.
in
You could
the
battle
like,
the gym.
the gyms.
Yeah.
But like, what if I wanted to battle you right now?
I don't know if you can.
You can in
now.
Pokemon. Let's go.
I'm very recently. I got really into it. For
Pokemon
like the
Go is a
first
very
3
lonely
weeks.
game.
Let's talk about
What? I
Pokemon
thought
Go.
the opposite.
No,
It, like,
definitely.
brought
You're
people
wrong.
together.
You're absolutely wrong. You're a wrong liar.
I
Yeah,
thought
people, like,
I
went to
thought it
parks
was
together.
I thought it was social, but in a really weird way.
Yeah,
Like
that's
you
what
would
I
go
mean.
to parks and it was a bunch of like
Yeah.
kind of outcasty people trying to make friends.
It
I
depends.
saw a
on,
lot of that.
It depends on when you play.
And what city you're
In what
in.
city? So we were in Boston, and we were walking around playing Pokemon, and we found that there was like 3 of like the I don't know what were they
Stops,
called? The
Pokestops.
Pokestops, all at this same park, and we went over there, and there was probably like 100 people.
100 people. And like we'd be like chilling in a restaurant, and like we'd be playing Pokemon Go, and the people at the table next to us would be like, "Are you playing Pokemon Go right now? Are we trying to take your gym?" They're like, "Yeah, you're trying to take our gym right now."
Yeah.
Like it was like you talk to people because
Yeah,
of it.
like I would never have spoken to any of these people, but you'd walk into somewhere, and you just hear some guy be like, "I got an Eevee," or something. This is back when we first.
Yeah,
started,
one time
so that
someone.
was,
I remember one time someone screamed, "There's a Charmander over here," and like 50 people just started booking it down the street.
Oh my
it
God.
was so
fantastic.
funny.
Dude, I was in Denver the week it launched, and the day I launched, I was at work, and everyone like literally just left work and went down to Old Town and started playing Pokemon. But like the week that it came out,
That
like
looks
the
like a
preceding
not,
2
like,
weeks,
Nike
I was in
Z30.
Denver, and yeah, it was the 14th Street Mall. It was just filled with like your typical like street homeless people, right? And then like just hundreds and hundreds of people playing Pokemon Go, but they're all playing it by themselves, just among other people. It wasn't very and then like signs outside restaurants are just like Pokestop right here, come get coffee, and they weren't. They were bullshitting, but
I think I got a pretty solid, fun like 2 weeks out of it, and then I got pretty
I think it was
bored.
6 weeks maybe.
Really nice.
Riker and his girlfriend still play it.
Towards the end of it, I just started on Android. You can spoof your location and put you somewhere else. So I just like kept doing that to go get Pokemon in other parts of the country.
Oh, well, that takes all the fun out of it.
Yep.
I
that's pretty funny though.
we lived in Boston and then we spent a week in LA and I was in Phoenix, so it was like I was getting a shit ton of Pokemon from
bet.
different areas. It was dope.
We were getting a shit ton of water Pokemon in
Different
in
places.
Pittsburgh.
Well,
yeah.
now I'm gonna download it again.
Oh shit!
I
don't think I ever-
still
I'm over
have
it.
it.
But dude, oh my god, I wish I bought stock in Nintendo right before Pokemon Go. 'Cause
Really?
their stock took off for like
But then it went back down.
Yeah, but then you sell. Like everyone knew it was a fad. Everyone
mean-
knew it wasn't.
I mean-
I remember saying the week of it starting, this is a fad. This is not going to last more than a month.
I mean, I should have.
And I would've
sold when my crypto was worth $700.
But I would have sold.
now it's worth
I
now it's
did.
worth 100.
Wait, are you talking about Litecoin?
No, just
Yeah,
crypto
what's-
in general.
Sorry,
Oh,
what's my
gotcha.
fucking Ripple worth now?
I made a whole bunch of money off of Tron, and like then bought more with that. But then all
Oh,
that
really?
is now worth nothing.
I made a ton on Ripple, but then just never sold.
Hurts
I
me
bought
deep
Ethereum
inside.
at $300 and sold it $600.
That's pretty good.
Oh my gosh.
I was pretty happy with that.
I almost went in with Adrian and bought it when it was like $30. But instead, I bought it when it was like $1,000 and sold it when it was like $850 because I was scared as shit.
Patrick had made $1,500 and then lost it all.
Yeah,
It could have been worse.
that's fine.
Could have been worse.
I mean, I'm still waiting. It's still coming up.
It'll come up.
I'll
And
hold
it'll
it
go
off.
down
I'm
and
not
it'll
poor
go
yet.
up.
I'm not poor yet.
Buy the dip.
Buy the dip,
Buy the
baby.
dip.
Buy the dip. Shoot the gap.
Huddle. It's the
You know, I don't know why this
Huddle
made me
Gang
think of it.
podcast.
I watched Leroy Jenkins the other day,
Leroy
and I died. I was like, that is still funny.
Wait, Nick, weren't we at your house? When you
It's
watched
pretty
that?
funny.
No, I was doing it with all my other friends that I have.
Did you guys talk to that guy Leroy at work? There are a
No.
bunch of people
Yeah,
like
old man Leroy.
yeah, old man Leroy.
Leroy
People kept
Lee.
trying to like,
Dude, he was
hey,
a kook.
What if he watches
he
it?
was a kook, but
What if
but
my
it was
boy
like
Leroy
the-
watches this? I don't even know who that is. Honestly.
He won't.
Oh,
Trust
well,
me,
I don't
he
know,
won't.
but me and like I'm sure like a dozen other people tried to show him Leroy Jenkins. He's like, I don't get it. We're like, but because your name's Leroy, and every time we'd call, it was but Leroy. He's like, I don't get it. It's like, okay, come watch this video. You're internet famous, man. He didn't get it. He didn't think it was funny.
Dang.
I still think it's funny.
I probably wouldn't think it was funny. My name was Leroy.
It's 'cause you're not
I'd
funny.
never
Well,
watched
you
the
wouldn't think
video.
it's funny if you were like 60 years old.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I probably wouldn't think it was funny. Though.
How does this game work?
what
Pokemon
Pokemon
Go?
Are you
Go?
trying to play Pokemon Go on your laptop?
No, on his phone.
Oh,
No.
oh, that's for switching the cameras. I was like, why are you on the WSD right now?
Come on, guys, let's play Ingress.
What's Ingress?
Ingress is what is Niantic's first game,
Shut up.
and
Sykes.
so that's what.
Oh, I know what that is. I know
That's
what
what
that is.
Pokemon Go is based on.
know what that is.
And then people were
Yeah.
messing with it, right? Like people were messing with the stops and stuff because you could do that in Ingress and it would change it for
Yeah,
Go.
you were like
Oh, I didn't
building
know
the
that.
stops. That's they.
Yeah.
I stopped
they
playing
got the
Ingress
stops for-
like a year before Pokemon Go came out, and I never played Pokemon Go.
Nick and I played all of Until Dawn in one day.
We
Wait, what?
did.
Until Dawn, the video
That's
game.
such a good game.
Until dawn.
Me, James, and Nick. That's what when I invited you to over.
Oh,
to
is that
play.
what you guys were playing?
We were playing.
Yeah,
that.
we
I
played.
was
And
in
we all
Scottsdale.
picked characters, and you could make. a
Did you
decision for all
guys?
them.
Did they all survive?
We were like doing really well, and then I killed everyone at the end.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Everyone but three
almost
people.
everyone.
So there's 2 achievements,
Including
for that
two of the
game.
people we hated the most. They survived just fine. We're
Wait,
like,
who did
"Damn
you
it."
guys hate the most?
We did hate Emily, but then she became dope.
Yeah, she became kind of a bad
Which
bitch.
one was she?
She was the Asian one.
Oh, right,
The
right,
Asian
okay.
girl. And then who else?
Um,
Oh yeah, Mike sucked too, but he became a badass. Those two became like badasses.
Right.
but then Chris, I was playing Chris.
Yeah, we always hated
He
Chris.
sucked.
Fucking
He
Chris.
survived because he
Did you-
ran out the door.
Oh.
Sam survived. He survived, and then Jessica,
Is she the one
because she
who
fell
was,
into the mine right in the beginning.
You guys had. She survived.
She
Oh,
survived.
but then- but
I
then-
saved her life because I'm
It's
Mike.
really okay. So
then
there,
Josh
there
died.
Are two characters.
Josh's head
Yeah.
got killed.
There's
crushed.
two
Sorry
characters
if you've never played this game,
that are
viewers.
really hard to keep alive. Josh is one of them, and she's the other one.
We kept Josh alive till he died, like till that point where
There
he
is
pretty much has
only
to.
one spot in the game where you can keep him alive. where
Yeah,
you have
Sam
to-
has to find that thing.
Yeah,
the journal.
the journal. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I'm thoroughly confused.
So
It's like
there-
a classic.
There's a game that
cabin
came out
trope.
in 2016 called Until Dawn.
It was
where
like
basically
2014.
was it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I wanna
I
say
thought
it
it
was
was more
pretty
recent than that.
Yeah.
Okay. It basically was a game that was supposed to be like a B-style horror game, like movie type thing.
Yeah.
2015. Cool.
Like a
Right-
found
right in
footage
between.
Between.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fine. But there was a bunch of like mocap that they did with like celebrities at that time.
It's like Hayden Panettiere
Hayden Panettiere.
and Rami
Mr.
Malek.
Robot.
Rami Malek.
yeah.
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 And then a bunch of no names. I think.
It almost. I really felt like it played. It was almost more like watching a movie than playing a game.
Yeah, it
but
was
the,
fun.
the really cool thing about the game for me was that every single character in that game could die or could survive based off your decisions. So it wasn't like you were making
changed
decisions
the whole
for
game.
like
It's like choose your own
3
adventure.
people. Yeah.
Choose your own adventure cinematic adventure horror
It's
game.
big
Okay.
butterfly effect thing.
Because the
Yeah, a
thing
lot
that
of
always
butterfly
annoyed
effect
me
stuff.
about like the Telltale games or whatever was that there was a lot of decisions you would make in those games that didn't make any difference.
Adult
either way.
Pajama Sam.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a good game.
Spy Fox.
But yeah, no, it was a really great game. You should play it. Anybody who has it. If you have a PlayStation, go ahead and go play that game because it's really good.
Hey guys, if you have the PS4, if you have the PS4 Pro, you should be good at that game.
Welcome to my ASMR PlayStation.
I think it was. James said he got it for free, right? It was just one of the PlayStation Plus downloads.
Hi.
I think.
It's free real estate.
Oh my god.
Probably.
I mean, you have to bring your own furniture, but the house is free.
Dude, ASMR creeps me out. I do not get it.
Did you? You should listen to our first episode then with Riker. Riker playing that ASMR with the getting your little sister ready for prom. Like, oh, you look so,
Is it that girl, like the main ASMR girl?
you look so beautiful.
The,
She's like the famous one, I guess.
Oh, you're going to prom.
I've only seen that one video that like is like the meme.
Oh, you're so
It's like, hi, hi, it's ASMR girl.
That's probably her. That sounds.
So I used to think
Nightmare
I
fuel.
understood ASMR.
I do not.
Now I don't.
Apparently, it's like a thing where you like feel a tingle on the back of your neck.
Actually, I like ASMR.
I
You
understand
get it?
the concept and what
Yeah,
it is.
It's weird, but I'm into it.
Do you
I'm
like
on
feet
board.
too?
The what? The what?
Nothing.
I understand the concept. I know
How do you
what
feel
it
about
is.
feet?
How do you feel about when you look
Oh,
up a celebrity
oh.
on your computer? Does it say celebrity's name Foot?
Wait. What do you look up?
Isn't that the weirdest shit? Like if you look up any female celebrity, it'll immediately go like Natalie Portman. It'll be Natalie Portman feet. How many
I've seen
people
that with,
are into
like-
feet?
I've
Is
seen that with,
this
like,
really that
hands.
like big of a thing? I don't get it. Like if you sorry if anyone is
No.
into feet, I just don't get it.
I.
Feet kind of gross me
It
out.
seems like
I
it seems
really
like a
don't get
weird
it.
thing to like to be specifically into. Like why
To not
is
do
it,
it?
why is it not the same way for like?
I feel like I've seen it with a lot of people.
But why feet? Why not like hands or and literally anything else?
All right. So no negative on the feet for Natalie Portman in the main
Nice.
one.
I feel like I
Nice
have
try,
seen it
Pat.
like several times.
If you type in Megan Fox, it'll be hands instead.
Put
She got
F.
funky hands.
Nothing.
These
well,
are all. I don't know.
Wow.
Wow, didn't even do that.
Wait, hold on.
Put E.
Wow. It's
Maybe
not
they
even on
took it
there.
off.
It's just not an option.
What the hell?
Maybe if you ask.
Like, if you're
Jeeves.
into this, you got to type it all the way out.
Okay, maybe I'm just looking up feet all the time. No, I don't look up feet, but I don't
I
get
don't,
it.
I don't know. I don't know.
Usually, whenever I made that,
Don't you
It only shows up because he searches it so often. that
I'm not
people's like,
saying I'm
"Ah,
not weird. I'm just saying I'm not into feet. Yeah, but every time I say that, people are always on board. So apparently, it is a thing.
So relatable.
People are into feet.
Well, I don't get
It's
it.
the whole.
It's like,
I'm not.
People, some people, I
People
don't
are
know.
into feet.
people like it.
I'm not into
Some
feet.
people, I don't know.
If you're into feet, it's okay.
I'm not into feet.
You don't
I'm not
have.
into-
This is a
Sites,
safe place.
if you can only bust a nut to foot fetish porn, I accept that, and I accept you, and I still love you, man.
I thought you were going to give
God
me like an
loves you.
ultimatum.
But if your wife leaves you, then no.
Joke's on you. I won't ever get a wife because I'm not into feet like you are.
You are.
I'm into Bud Light. I'm sexually attracted to Bud Light. I think I
Lots of
I think I
people
talk like
got
I sound like
married.
Post Malone when I like Bud Light. Bud Light.
Oh man.
It's true.
So
It's true.
I'm not
And
entirely.
all that you know.
I'm not entirely satisfied with the answer that I got last podcast about
Feet?
how long you should wait before you can talk about a film in public without worrying about
3 weeks.
people being upset with it.
I think we said out of theaters, right?
So out of
You
theaters.
said everybody.
Well,
said
that's
that?
like
I feel like we don't need to talk about
definitely
this
on the
again.
I like. That's a long ass time.
Nick is resting his head on the pop filter. That means he's done.
Okay, what do you want to talk about now?
No, it's good. I'm trying to think if there's any reason why it wouldn't be when it's out of theaters.
Okay, well, if it's like a really popular film, it's going to be in theaters for a really fucking long time.
But by the time it gets out of theaters, that's definitely past the time when it's acceptable to like.
Let's talk about this.
Talk
How
about it.
often do you guys go to movies in theaters?
I feel like I don't go for like 6 months, and then I'll see like 5 in a month.
I do
Okay.
that as well.
I'm kind of
It
I'm kind of like
depends.
the
I saw
1 or 2 a
Solo,
month.
and then before that, I guess me and Cody went and saw Deadpool 2 last month. But then before that, it was literally Blade Runner in theater. That was the last one I saw before Deadpool 2. I haven't seen Infinity Wars. I don't really care.
Well,
I've
how many
seen-
movies
yeah,
have you all
Infinity
seen
Wars.
so far this year? Because it's the end of May.
Jeez,
I don't fucking know. Do you know? How many movies have you seen, Sipes?
I don't know, like 6 or 7 in
Probably
theaters.
around that.
Yeah.
Remember when
I
we-
have no idea though.
So that's an
Remember when we
average of
all
maybe like
pranked
It kind of feels like
1.5 a
February to
month?
me right now, honestly.
Yeah. It feels like it's February.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Does it?
This year went by really fast.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, I did, but I mean, it doesn't feel like it's February.
I kind of feel like it's. I mean, it's hot out.
Okay, so all right, but like I see like on average, like 1 or 2 movies a month. I think I saw like
Okay, that's fair.
I
saw
think maybe one a
Solo.
month I'd average.
yeah, I saw Solo, I saw Infinity War. This is working
Yeah,
in
that's true.
backward
I saw
backwards.
Deadpool too. I saw all those.
Yeah, I saw Black Panther, and then I think before that was Blade Runner. It was
saw-
a long time before I like went and saw anything.
You didn't see Star Wars: The Last Jedi?
Oh, I did see Last Jedi.
Oh, I did see Last
When
Jedi.
did that
That's
come
true.
out? But that came out
Like
December, didn't it?
Yeah.
That was a while ago. Yeah.
I think that's.
thought it
Did
was
last
anybody
year.
see Shape of Water?
I might have seen that with my.
I didn't see.
I
Jedi.
actually haven't seen that movie, and I really would
I
like
didn't
to.
see it.
I see.
Yeah,
I watch
it's
a
a
lot
good
on like
movie.
Amazon Prime after they come
Jeez,
out.
that-
I came to really enjoy going to the movie theater by myself
I like going to the movies by myself.
because to me it's like if I can get people I actually want to hang out with in a room for a certain amount of time, the last thing I want to do is go sit in the dark. You know? Right? So
Yeah.
even like
Oh yeah, I saw Infinity War by myself.
Yeah.
That was actually, you know what? I'm totally. Before I was not entirely on board with the seeing movies by yourself. I think it's fantastic.
It almost
Because-
makes more sense.
because if you narrate it in your mind, I look at it this way: is like when people are like, "Oh, you go to movies by yourself," that's really weird. It's like I could go on the Phoenix subreddit and say, "Hey, I'm going and seeing Solo at the AMC Dine-In at 6 p.m. tonight. Anyone wants to come? Please, that'd be great." And like 10 people would say, "Okay," and they'd show up and they'd be like, "Oh, are you the Reddit?" And you're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." You go in, you get your snacks, you crack some jokes in the previews, you watch the movie. At the end, it's have a good night. You leave. I could be any random 20 people in the entire world, and it wouldn't change the experience at all.
Yeah.
So like, why not at that point just be like, oh, well, I have a bunch of free time right now. I'll go knock out a couple hours and go see a movie I want, and not have to worry about someone getting up and crossing over. Because then you can pick like a weird time to go, and there's no one in the theater, and it's fine. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, all the
I've done it
logistics
like
of
because I
trying
just
to-
want to like avoid traffic. I've gotten
Yeah.
to watch a
Like
movie.
as a happy hour kind of thing.
Yeah, it was like 4:30, and I was in Scottsdale, and I was just like, okay, I'm really close to Fashion Square. I'll just go watch a movie for 2 hours, so then I don't have to deal with traffic.
I did that a couple summers ago when I had a summer job I really hated. Like on Tuesdays, like they had like $5 Tuesdays at my like local theater. So I went and saw a movie like every week.
Yeah.
And that was my just like thing. So I saw a movie every week that whole summer. But now I just
I feel like right now there has to be a movie that I'm really interested in going to see. Like I feel like in high school and stuff, like there was a lot of movies that come out that I was like, I don't really care about this, but you know, other people are going to go see
a
it.
thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I think there has to be. Oh, Patrick's done. All right, bye, Pat. Have fun.
He's breaking
Good
the seal
having you on. That's Patrick Dixon, everyone.
in his pants. I'll put in some applause.
That
and
is really, really disturbing for some reason. You sound like a pug that's dying.
That's just what pugs sound like, my friend.
Oh, right.
Yeah, dude, the scene in the movie, I only recently got on board with that like a year ago, and I think it's the best thing ever. Because you don't have to deal with the like trying to find someone. If you want to go see a movie, you just go do it. You don't have to find someone to go with.
And I think that comes down to like what Nick was talking about as far as like you're going to go do something, you do it whether people are going to be there or not, and then you kind of just, you can reach out to people and be like, hey, I'm going to be here at this time. If you want to go, see you then. If not, cool. See you later.
It's amazing how much more stuff I got done in my life once I started doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, I'm going to go do it. If you want to come, great. If not, I'm still going to go get gay tacos tonight. It's in my mind,
Develop a lack of shame.
Yeah.
Have no shame for doing anything.
Yeah, well, and just like...
That's when you become happier.
Yeah, and not needing to belong to a group to get to do stuff,
No, yeah, I don't get embarrassed anymore. Not really.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing this.
It kind of stopped.
Yeah. I get embarrassed for people a lot still.
Am I way ahead of everyone else's beers?
Yeah, you're drinking a lot. It's
I'm
cool,
at
though.
4. What are you guys
No,
at?
you're fine.
This is number 3, but these are pretty heavy beers.
Yeah, I guess. The first one I drank was like 6% or something. And
I had these 2 Bud Lights, most of this, and then 2 glasses of this.
yeah, no, you're about right.
Would you like some
Okay.
of this?
I'm good.
I guess I'm just keeping them in front. Do you guys have the thing where like someone will text you something, and because you use the internet, like you already have seen it, and then you're like, you don't want to be like, oh, that's so funny, because like you've already seen it, but then you feel pretentious being like, yo, I saw that like 3 days ago.
Yeah, I'll just like, yeah, hell yeah. I'm glad, even though the answer is like, I found out about this a year and a half ago.
Yeah, exactly.
But it doesn't matter because now this person is discovering it and enjoying
I
it.
literally just put ha ha ha.
I always say I've already seen that.
Well,
Yeah, but
I combine the two because like you'll inherently see stuff on Reddit before
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it makes it to
Everyone
iPhone.
knows.
So I'm like, yeah, I saw that on Reddit yesterday. That's fun. Like it was actually
It was
funny,
funny,
you know?
yeah.
And they're like, oh damn it.
I just had a friend text me, Kanye is going to be on Family Feud. And I've straight up known about that for like 3 months.
Wasn't he
I
already
didn't know
on
about
Family
that.
Feud?
Yeah, it just hasn't aired yet.
Okay.
Why?
What? Because he loves Family Feud.
He loves Family
Who
Feud.
is he on with?
With the
though?
Kardashians.
What, the Kardashians.
And the West family.
Oh Jesus!
And according to what's the host name?
dope.
With the West, what the Kardashian, and then
what's his
against
name?
who? What?
I'm blanking.
I
Harvey,
hate
right?
Yeah,
hate
yeah.
Harvey so much.
Steve Harvey?
That
Apparently-
dude sucks ass.
He's gonna be the next
According to
subject of the Me
Steve
Too
Harvey,
movement.
they were some of the dumbest people that he've ever.
No, he said
ever-
Kanye was super good.
No, he said Kanye was, but the Kardashians sucked.
I think
at
he
that
just
shit.
said Kim was bad.
Really? I thought he
think
said the Kardashians
maybe he
sucked,
said the
but Kanye was
Kardashians.
really good at it.
It's like Kanye, that's one of his favorite shows. Is Family Feud.
So
Dude, because he's watching it, he's getting like livid. Just why he's like, I know the fucking answer. I can be better at like every family is like I can be better at this, right?
And when Rick and Morty got renewed for 70 episodes, he like tweeted at them. He was like, yo, it's my favorite show. And Justin Roiland's like, dude, we should hang out sometime. And Kanye's like, hell yeah, let's hang out. and then post pics of his MAGA hat.
Dude, Kanye's gotta get off Twitter.
Kanye's got to be on Twitter
A
forever.
lot of people have to get off Twitter.
Like I feel like I'm totally fine with Kanye having whatever like his opinions are, but I think it's really funny that just like if he just stayed off Twitter, it'd be way better for him. He would be way better off if he just stayed off.
No, I love it
I
because
don't-
he's stirring up so much shit. Like he's on everyone's like radar now again because he was gone for like a year and a half. Like he just did not talk to anyone for a long time. Also, I think he's producing like
His shoes were on my radar.
I think it's over 5 albums he's fully producing this summer.
At the
He's been a busy
Yeah.
he's been a
Time?
busy
At the
little-
same
busy-
time.
Busy little beat.
And the first
That's
one
a
just came
lot.
out to like acclaim, like really well
Wait, who is
received. Pusha T's album,
Ooh.
which we should talk about actually.
so good.
Hey,
The
Patrick,
beef.
we should talk about Pusha T's album.
So does everyone know who Pusha T is?
I
The
do
rapper
not
Pusha
know
T?
who Pusha
Vaguely.
T.
Pusha T. I
familiar.
think his debut came out in like I'm totally gonna get this wrong. I want to say 2002. And Pusha T is on the Good Music label, which is Kanye's label. He's the president of the Good Music label.
What does Drake have to do with this?
Yeah, we'll get there. So Pusha T is the first album to come out of these Wyoming releases, which Kanye like booked like this resort in Jackson Hole, and like flies a bunch of people in, similar to what he did in My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, where he flew everyone into Hawaii.
Yeezy Season 7 has some Wyoming.
Yeah,
stuff
easy
in
season
it.
approaching.
Did he
Fuck
really
what
do
I'll
that?
be
Just
saying.
fly everyone in to record and then.
And so it's,
Yeah, for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, that's what he did.
so,
yeah.
so it was Pusha
It was-
T. It was his own album, right?
Yeah, this is Pusha T's album.
And then him and Kid Cudi.
Him and Kid Cudi are next one is Kanye's album, which is coming out
Right.
tonight, baby.
Tonight.
Ooh,
Apparently.
tonight.
I'm so excited.
It's already
Yeah.
out if you're watching this.
People think it's called Love Everyone. I don't think it's gonna be called Love Everyone.
TurboGrafx.
People think it's gonna be called TurboGrafx X. I don't think it's gonna be called TurboGrafx X. I like that album name though.
That's better.
It should be called
I don't think we know what it is. Anyway, so Pusha T's album is,
be Through
is the
the-
first,
Through the
and then,
Wire,
but he's
too.
also, and then he's doing Kids See Ghosts with
Kid
Kid
Cudi.
Cudi. That's a like collab
That's gonna be
album.
cool.
Yeah,
And then
I'm
he's
excited for
producing a
that.
Nas's album.
Yep.
He's producing, I think one more he's announced, and then like a couple more I think he's doing. So like, which is crazy. No one produces that much, and like is actually good. But apparently, like Daytona, which is Pusha T's album, just came out to like acclaim. It was only a 21-minute album though, which is pretty crazy
Sounds
short.
like a punk album.
And they paid $85,000 for the cover art, and it's
Yeah, 'cause it's Whitney
Houston's
Houston.
bathroom after she OD'd. That's the cover art. So people
Whoa,
are like, "Holy
that's
shit!"
what that is?
Yeah,
That's the,
Oh.
yeah,
the Yeezy merch
I'm looking
by
at it
now.
right now.
yeah.
This everyone listening should Google this shit. This is great.
Yeah, that, and it's really cool artwork. Like
Can we
it looks
just pull
really
it up
cool.
on the screen?
but
Yeah.
it's-
Or are we
yeah,
gonna
you
get
could probably do that.
sued?
No, you can probably do that.
And we're gonna have to pay lots of money. We don't make any money. We don't.
Yeah, so Daytona, there it is. So
I really liked, honestly, I was a really big fan of the 21-minute length because it felt like a super jam-packed 21 minutes
yeah,
that didn't let me down at all. If you know,
No, it
you
was
know
awesome.
is so solid.
That sounds like a digestible.
super
amount
good.
of
What
time.
would
Like, you
Meek
can
do was
sit it-
really good.
Santeria.
What would
was
Meek do is
really
awesome, which is
interesting.
like Meek Mill.
Yeah.
Who do you guys know? Like Meek Mill went to jail.
Yeah.
He-
Free Meek.
for doing freaking he was on probation and he was doing wheelies on his dirt bike.
Yep.
And they arrested him again.
Yeah, no.
Like why would you do that? Why would you arrest someone for doing
Yeah, he was
wheelies on their
like
dirt
he was
bike?
like with the 12 o'clock boys in
Yeah.
Baltimore. Like
yeah, like why would you arrest him? Okay, anyway. So
to
Pusha
arrest
T,
anyone in Baltimore, that don't arrest the guy.
Pusha T with this album, I think it's on the song let me see, Infrared. Yeah, it's the last one. Him and Drake and Lil Wayne have all had this like huge beef for a really long time. So his first, that one he did. I can't say some of the words in here, but the game's fucked up, and basically he's saying that Drake doesn't write his own music and his ghostwriters. The N word's in it, so I'm just not gonna say it. I'm not even gonna bleep it out.
it's
I'm just not
crazy
gonna say it.
that they're trying to pull that out against Drake again because that's what happened during the rap civil war in like
Yeah,
August
people have been
2014.
people
with
have been
Meek
saying that
Mill
about
and
Drake for forever.
And then Drake, like that's when like Back to Back came out and like totally destroyed Meek Mill and he had like no responses at all.
Yeah,
like,
and
fell
Pusha
apart.
T's been like calling out to Drake and Lil Wayne for a long time, and Drake has never responded. But then Drake responded to this with the Duppy freestyle,
which was
and he said a bunch of stuff about Kanye too, and he's like, so if you rebuke me for working with someone else on a couple of these, like couple verses, what do you really think about the guy who's making your beats? Ooh. So he's like shouting at Kanye, and then he's basically said like he wrote part of Father Stretch Your Hands
Drake
and
did.
30 Hours. Like he said, Father had to stretch his hands out and get it from me. I pop style for 30 hours, let him repeat. Ooh. So he did like a bunch of stuff like that. And then Pusha T came out with his response, which is called The Story of Adidas, which Drake used to be with Nike, and now he's making shoes for Adidas, I believe, right, Connor?
He is going to be going to Adidas soon.
And it was going to be called
Those
Adidas.
shoes are going to be dope. I'm
It
excited.
was going to be called
wait,
Adidas.
Drake's
Yeah,
Drake on
they're going to
Drake
be
is
called
making-
Adidas.
yeah.
But now if you Google search Adidas, it's always the Pusha T.
Yeah.
So they ruined it. So they're probably not going to release it. Of that.
Well, according to Yeezy Mafia, that was never the real name of what he was going to be doing.
I think they were.
Maybe.
Anyway, but he does all this shit.
Are they cool looking?
I haven't
he
seen
hasn't come out with any of the Adidas.
so
anyway,
they
but
don't
like
know
what
what
he basically like he does all the ghostwriting stuff and he's like, hey, keep Kanye at your verses. You should just talk to me. And then he like makes fun of. It's pretty fucked up actually. He makes fun of one of Drake's ghostwriter people that he collaborates with, who has MS, and he like made fun of his MS, which is like fucked up. And then he like calls out Drake and is like, yo, you have an illegitimate son that you've never claimed with a porn star, and I'm gonna like shout this out. And then the cover is Drake in blackface from like a photo shoot he did years ago. So it's just like he just bodied Drake. He killed him.
Oh, no.
And the story we on is like, it's like getting pretty big. Apparently it's getting played in Toronto, I just heard, which is like where Drake's from. So like, it's pretty fucking crazy.
I have to go on Twitter and see what Norm is saying. I have to see if our sixth dad is still backing up
Yeah,
Drake.
they keep doing memes of like Pusha T in like Nardwar's clothing because they're like, how the fuck did you know all this shit? It was crazy, man. So anyway, Pusha T's album's awesome.
It's pretty good.
Really
Yeah,
good. 21
yeah.
minutes, super easy listen. It's just like it's one of the tightest compact rap albums I've ever heard.
I appreciate it's pretty high energy the whole way through.
Pretty high
It was
energy.
pretty
And
just like boom, 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 boom.
Kanye's
like,
production is just insane. Such perfect samples.
Production's good. I thought Pusha T had some really interesting like lyrical content too.
Yeah, he's always been a good rapper.
It's always been good.
Does Kanye engineer everything too, or does he just? Is he like everything?
I don't think
like,
he masters
produce
it
and-
or anything. But yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's always such a.
he's the producer on every track.
Damn.
And he
Hell
also
yeah.
picked the album cover.
Because a lot of people forget at this point that that's how Kanye originally started off. Like that was Kanye's like big thing for a while, and then they were like,
was an engineer?
He was
No,
a
he
producer.
yeah, he produced beats. That's how Kanye got famous.
That was
Oh,
Kanye's
what? I didn't
original
know that.
thing.
Kanye produced beats for
And everyone was really skeptical when his first album came out because it was like,
They
what?
wouldn't sign him for a long time.
Producer guy's gonna try to rap now?
Yeah, no,
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
that is kind of weird when a producer goes to like being an artist. Like
Yeah.
like if Rick Rubin came out with a guitar,
And that's
centric
exactly what
album.
happened.
dude, I love Rick Rubin.
And that's part of why.
Really?
I
That's
love
why.
Rick Rubin.
That's part of why there's always
I got
been such a
opinions
big
about
gap
Rick
in
Rubin.
time between Kanye's albums. Is like he's not like just working on his own stuff consistently. It's like he goes and takes like eight other
But he
side
hasn't
projects.
produced in a while now.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah,
He's like
yeah.
making 5 albums. Yeah, but he used to do Jay-Z's beats, some of Jay-Z's beats.
Really?
Isn't
did,
that where he came from? It was like that's
Yeah. No, Jay-Z wasn't like the first one.
Wait, no, hold on. Didn't he
So-
do Yeezus was done at
Rick Rubin. Yeah,
Rick
Shangri-La.
Rubin's- Yeah, Shangri-La. And, then
and
it was the bus
and it was
on the
mixed. It was mixed in the Bob Dylan's old tour bus that they turned into a studio.
back. Yeah.
Which is dope.
They've got like a small console in there.
It's awesome.
I've ever seen the tour of that. It's just a house that they just like converted into a studio.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's in like Malibu.
No, but yeah, Kanye was like kid in Chicago making beats, and then his mom his mom worked with No ID's mom, who No ID's like really famous
yeah.
hip hop producer, and that's how like Kanye got hooked up and everyone hooked up with like all this. He has a song called Big Brother, and the like chorus is, "My big brother, who's
Was
Jay-Z,
Big
was
Brother.
Big's brother, who's Biggie. Used to
Ah.
be Damin, Big's brother, who's hip hop brother, who was No ID's friend, No ID's my mentor. Now let the story begin." Kanye's dope. I love Kanye. Kanye's a genius.
It's the Kurt Cobain.
Have you heard the Bowie Kanye conspiracy?
dragon energy.
No.
All right.
Oh
tell us.
shit!
Dragon Energy.
So Bowie.
Can we get Dragon Energy tattoos?
So what's the Dragon Energy tattoos? Fire.
I would get that.
What's the
I
Bowie
probably-
album? Is it the Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust?
Ziggy
Right.
plays guitar.
I don't know if I want that to be my
Queen
first
Star.
tattoo, but
Yeah, that'd be mine.
then I'd be
That
I'd be down
sounds
to get a
familiar.
dragon energy tattoo.
Well, the album's called
but you
Ziggy
have to get
Stardust.
a Dragon Energy tattoo, and it's
No, the album's called The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and
board.
Spiders from Mars.
Oh, right. And then the song
Hey.
is just
Star
Ziggy
Nirvana
Stardust.
reference.
Dude, are we
Okay, but Starman's on there.
Yeah, yeah.
So like there's a
like upper
Starman
thigh,
waiting in the
like where he
sky.
has like his
That one?
USA.
Sure.
Anyway, there's a line he says in there, and the cover of the Rise and Fall. Can you look up the Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars? So it says something like the Starman is going to be born. Oh, the first song is 5 years. 5 years after the Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust came out, Kanye West was born, and the Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust is all about a Starman's going to come to Earth, and like. So like there's this huge conspiracy. Wait, this is where it gets weird. Look, yeah, that's the album cover. No, just do the album cover. I just need the album cover. Yeah. Zoom in on it.
I can't. It doesn't let you just go to the images anymore.
Yeah, it does if you
right.
go to image. K West, right above his head.
What?
Oh, Jesus.
So 5 years later, Kanye West was born, and then like all this stuff, like his David Bowie's last album is called Black Star. And Kanye's literally a black star.
Are you
Like
gonna
there's
talk
like
to us
all
about the
this
Illuminati?
shit. I'm
Wait,
not gonna
that's
pretend like I
crazy, man.
believe in it, but there's crazy stuff.
Where's the bear? Is the bear in any
The
of the
Dropout Bear.
albums? Is Dropout Bear in any of the covers?
Yeah, so like K West, which is weird, and then the Starman,
really weird.
like Starman's coming, and then Kanye's like David Bowie's one of my favorite artists. There's just like a ton of shit they have in common, and like so people are like, David Bowie predicted Kanye.
Oh man,
The K West thing is weird.
That is
that
really
is
weird.
that is pretty weird.
I mean,
West.
it's like Abe Brown being on the corner of that building downtown. You know?
Yeah, but that's A Brown. This is K West.
Have you seen the? Have you watched Wizard of Oz with
with Dark Side of the Moon.
Dark Side of the Moon?
Yeah, you know, it's
I
even
never
better
have
than
actually
that.
done that.
That was every fucking freshman stoner in high school. Dude, you should. I'm like, I've done it, and no, it doesn't quite work.
No, it definitely works. What are you talking about?
I don't think it works.
It totally works.
I've never done it.
You know what lines up even more? You
What?
put a playlist of Lil Wayne music videos on mute and then play Dark Side of the Moon. And there's some of that where that lines up perfectly.
But you can do the same thing with a Metallica album. Kill them all.
I think that's the
Like-
point. You can fucking do it
Yeah,
with
and I think
anything.
You can do it. Yeah, you can interpret. It's just interpretation,
You know
which
what?
is the whole point
If
of everything.
Metallica never... If Metallica just all went away right now, I would probably be okay with that.
What? Dude, they were influential. They were
that
really
would-
influential
Mostly-
in the 80s, though.
It would have literally zero impact on my life.
Because, well, and I think it'd have a big positive impact because a lot of their major fan base would, like, maybe pick something else. You know?
No, they would pick Slayer, which is worse.
Yeah, Slayer. You're just like,
I was never a fan of Slayer. All my metalhead friends are like literally carving stuff in their arms, and it's like, no, guys, come
I
on.
think
stop.
metal might be the cringiest music genre.
What? There's definitely a cringy part
Because
of metal.
there is
Yeah.
no part of metal that I think is actually badass.
Really?
I think metal surrounds the concept of attempting to be badass.
Yeah. Like, I'm not afraid of anyone from Limp Bizkit.
Well, no, that's not the point.
What is?
Oh, they're definitely trying to make it seem like that. Like Five Finger Death Punch.
Okay, that's not
five-
like real. Like any metalhead will tell you, like Five Finger Death Punch is like 98 KUPD, like wannabe metal though. It's like,
But that is
not.
the current popular state of the genre. And I actually like a lot of Five Finger Death Punch
That's
songs.
like pop. Well, that's but
like
like,
the bleeding, you know? Like,
I don't know, man. Like real metal, I consider like
the bleeding.
I don't know. Like
fun.
there's like
But like Metallica, and
Like
you
a lot
guys
of-
like, oh, like this isn't real music. I remember when Metallica was on the radio. I love it. I'm just like, all right,
That,
okay, man.
that my biggest pet peeve about any
R
music
slash
genre.
I'm very badass, you know.
My ultimate pet peeve about any music genre, and this, you know, if this is you, fuck you. If you're listening to a song of something that somebody is enjoying, and you're like, oh, this isn't real music. Real music is X, Y, and Z. Man, you fucking suck because you're not listening to X, Y, and Z. It's like, shut up. Listen to whatever you want. Let people listen to whatever they want.
But you notice that all those YouTube comments are only on metal songs from metal people.
Not entirely. I've
No,
seen a large spike.
It's like all the other kids my age listen to Justin Bieber. I'm listening to this Slayer song, and it's like a 500 thumbs up.
I
and
feel
it's
like
ugh.
so that's part of it. I think the other part I feel like has been a lot of like the rock community or whatever is very like there's a lot of people who
Foo
like,
Fighters are the only real music.
you think yeah
I like Foo
I
Fighters.
do like Foo Fighters.
No, I like Foo Fighters.
But they're not the only music.
right.
yeah
I used to hate
But like
Nirvana.
what you guys are talking about, like doesn't epitomize metal. Like that's what metalheads joke. Like non-metalhead people think metal is like Slayer and Metallica, and it's just not really representative of like metal is like. You have to go back to like Black Sabbath and like
Tungsten?
the inception of that shit, and like
I think metal's dope. It's just I think you have to pick your music. Like there's too much.
well, you have to
like, figure
yeah, you have
out
to
what you want to get into.
metal is one of those things where like it's definitely like we talked about it in like episode 3 or something like that. Like we really have to like be into it because it's a really empowering sort of music. If you're not into it, I totally get it.
But is there?
Yeah, see, no.
But no, I like Disturbed. Disturbed.
Really?
But is there
Have you seen the
any?
Vine?
Is there any cringier?
Have you seen the
Is there
Vine
any
of that?
cringier
The
music
guys
genre than metal?
trying to do that song
As far as demographic goes, there's a lot of cringy people in metal. I would say like
karaoke.
of any
I think
demographic,
it's
it's
like,
got like
I think it's
cringy.
metal, and then
I
like
feel like we should
the
have a side
full.
conversation.
Well, it's you got to understand
like
it's
the
really
full cloud
easy.
rap.
Well, it's really
They're
easy to
pretty
like.
cringy, too.
It's really easy to fuck those genres up.
And then
though.
Brockhampton fans.
Rockhampton
Okay, yeah.
fans. Brockhampton, that dude was kicked out, right?
Yeah, Amir Vaughn, R.I.P.
Yeah, sexual assault.
And they were coming out with their new project, so they're having to now
They cancel all their tour dates.
Yeah, to cancel their tour dates, and now they have to re-record / like conceptualize a lot of that stuff on that album.
Brockhampton, baby Odd Future.
Hmm?
They're like new Odd Future.
I think that Brockhampton did what Odd Future was always trying to do and never actually got done.
What? Odd Future.
Odd Future is dope.
Revolutionary.
But they didn't crank out as much content as everyone was hoping they were going to.
I mean, it's Frank Ocean and Tyler the Creator.
Yeah.
They've cranked out a lot.
I mean, like Brockhampton
Earl-
cranked out
Earl's
3
Electric
dope
Spade.
albums in like
Sid, they got
like,
the inner
summer.
Yeah, but they all they did. I think they have
Sid
like
the
2
Dude.
mixtapes, but then all their that's how rap groups do. Like Young Money, like they only have 1 album, but then they have like so many releases outside
Does
of
Young
that.
Money technically exist anymore?
I think so. I think it's a Lil Wayne.
There's that
rapper.
one album that Bedrock is on, and none of the rest of the songs on that album are good.
Yeah,
I listened to it like
that's
a
the
month
Young Money
ago.
album. But like the Good Music album is the one with Mercy and stuff. That's
But I think it's
Cruel
it's
Summer
different
or
than-
Cruel Winter. I always forget if it's Cruel Summer or Cruel Winter. I don't really like that album that much.
It's Cruel Summer.
Cruel Summer? Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lamborghini Mercy.
I just think everyone wanted like Odd Future to be like a bigger thing.
Well, Odd Future became Frank Ocean, who's like arguably one of the biggest music stars
Right.
alive.
Right.
And then, most well respected at least. Tyler the Creator is getting huge.
But now that they're big, they haven't supergrouped in a while.
Yeah, because Odd Future is over now.
Right.
But they were, like, for a while, Tyler the Creator was releasing stuff. Frank Ocean was releasing stuff. The internet was releasing
But
stuff. with
together
just a
as
dude.
Odd Future, they didn't ever do
think they did too.
all of them on a track
Yeah, they did.
as much as everyone wanted.
I guess,
Because
yeah.
when they announced it, it was like, oh, like they're all like.
But I mean, they had a full
crazy.
TV series.
That's true.
I think they were a big thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Loiter
that.
Squad for like 3 seasons.
That was a weird show.
It was a really weird show.
That was really
You
weird.
didn't bring me a birthday present on my birthday.
I forgot about
Bring
that
my
show.
birthday present on my birthday. Birthday. Yeah, it's a birthday.
I like Tyler the Creator.
Jesus.
You don't like Tyler the Creator?
When is
No. I was just at the digression.
Oh.
when is Earl Sweatshirt
So
coming
fun.
out? With
Oh,
the
that's
next
Odd
album?
Future Wolfgang. Killed them all.
Ooh, Golf Wang. When is Earl Sweatshirt coming out with another album?
I don't know. I don't really follow Earl anymore.
Oh.
I think it's soon. I think he actually is coming out with one soon. I think I heard about it. He has a clothing line now.
I'm really looking forward to that Kid See Ghost. I want to see how that
Yeah,
goes.
I'm not a huge Cuddy fan,
You
but like I
dude,
know people are. Like people love Man on the Moon.
You shouldn't have been a Cuddy fan past like 2011. Like he has had a long stretch of shit that was not
Wasn't
good.
Man on the Moon too good too?
His most recent album was like
so the
pretty
mixtape was
interesting.
Man on the Moon. The album was Man on the Moon 2. That was the 2009 one that everyone
okay,
liked.
okay,
Then Man on the Moon 3, Ballad of Mr. Rager came out.
I thought
That
Man
one
on the
was
Moon was the
okay.
first one.
Indicud was okay. He had a collab album with King Wizard.
Indicud.
Okay. And then there was like Operation or Destination Mother Moon, which was like another one. That one was like when people like hardcore Cuddy people were like, ah. Then I think he might have had one more, but then Speeding Bullet to Heaven came out, which
What's his,
was
like,
a
really big song.
what? Day and Night.
Day and Night. Yeah, that's
Pursuit
what
of Happiness.
That's what I'm thinking of. I saw Kid Cudi live at Flog Night.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
was
I
really
saw
good.
him live in like 09. Like I saw him at a community college. It was dope. Yeah.
It was cool how many people like loved his music when I was there. Same with A$AP Rocky.
Dude,
like people love it.
Did you
also good album.
Did
Good
you
album.
listen to Speeding Bullet to Heaven at all? Mm-mm. That was literally him like moaning. Like I think Fantano gave that one like a 2. It was awful. Like it was mid Kid Cudi like fully losing his mind. And so that one was like horrible and everyone's like, dude, like even if you really defend and like love Kid Cudi, people were like, I can't protect this one.
Yeah.
And then his most recent one was Passion, Pain, and Demon Slaying, and that one had some pretty good songs on it.
Well, now we're getting
That one
Kanye
was-
production.
So
with
now,
Cudi.
so now he's like coming out. He's like
Yeah.
coming out of his insanity and like doing some good work again. And now he's got Kanye in there too.
when
and
Kanye's insane, that's when he's at his best. Honestly.
Kanye's always
Yeah, but he can push the boundary a little bit
Because
further.
My Beautiful
sometimes,
Dark
like-
Twisted Fantasy was like after he did the VMA thing where he was like the Taylor Swift. Where
yeah,
he
but
went
like,
up on
Kid-
stage.
that was a good album.
But like Kid
It
Cudi's,
was his best album.
Yeah,
arguably.
but Kid Cudi spent like a couple months in like psych ward.
So did
like,
Kanye,
like
dude.
fully schizophrenic.
He's
Oh well, not that, but like he was just like
Name one
crippling depression,
genius
I
that
guess.
ain't crazy.
One genius that ain't crazy.
Albert
Frank Zappa.
Albert Einstein.
Ooh.
Frank Zappa. Not that crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
Donald Trump.
He's not.
Oh, we getting political.
We're getting
And
political
that's
up in this
the
bit.
end of this episode.
Dragon energy.
I am so excited. Yeah, Kim Kardashian and Donald Trump just met up today.
Yeah, what's
Or
that?
yesterday.
Yeah,
What
that
the
was
hell is
the.
that
I
about?
thought it was
That's strange.
photoshopped. I thought it was like
How
a fake picture.
How about Kim Kardashian's like got famous from her sex tape with Ray J and her famous dad?
Got famous from being Paris Hilton's a friend and assistant.
Yeah, Paris Hilton's assistant
In the
and friend.
OG
and then
TV show.
and then her dad was OJ's lawyer.
Yep.
And then she made the sex tape with Ray J. And then they had the TV show that Ryan Seacrest produced.
But she also like
Keeping Up with the
designed
Kardashians.
clothing for a lot of famous people.
I like
too.
Kim Kardashian a lot, actually.
You
I
do?
think she's like cool. Like that
I
she's
think
like
the
that she's
stuff
went
she
from
does
that
is
to like
cool.
she's like fairly respected now.
I
in
like
a
the
weird
stuff
way.
she does. I don't think she's a cool person though.
I
think that's a
she's
big
cool person.
difference.
Is it like if you put someone who's kind of not that cool in a group of really cool people, they're automatically cooler? Is it kind of like
I
like
think you're giving
Kanye
her
is
a lot of
so
credit.
like Kanye's so
I am?
nuts?
I think so.
Kanye is
I think
so.
she's a smart businesswoman. I really do.
See,
I think it's one of those Kanye is
that's
so.
different than saying she's a cool person though.
Oh, I don't know. I've seen enough stuff. I think she's like become a cooler person since she's had kids. Maybe I just like Kanye so much that it like becomes
Well,
that.
and I think Kanye normalizes her. I think her
Yeah.
like shit becomes a little more like, well, that's reasonable when Kanye's like, I'm gonna build a moon base and like bunch of shit like that.
but I
you
like
know?
see the picture of them in Wyoming. I'm like, that's nice. They're like a happy family right now.
You hope so.
I hope so.
You hope that they're like actually.
I don't know.
Sure, they're fine.
I think it's hard. She went from like her perception was like essentially Paris Hilton, who also had sex tapes, of like this party girl, sex tapes, all this shit, and then she's like kind of left that. Like people still think she's vapid and all that, which maybe she is, but like that like when you think of Kim Kardashian,
I don't
you
know.
don't
I have
know.
no idea how Paris Hilton's doing. I haven't heard.
No,
anything
exactly.
of
Paris
her
Hilton's nothing anymore. Like no one knows who she is anymore.
except she's super rich. So.
Super, but her dad's rich. That's why. I mean, she's probably rich on her own now.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know what I mean. Like Kim Kardashian is and it amazes me. She's the pinnacle of pop culture. No one doesn't know who Kim Kardashian, whether you like it or not. She is. She's everywhere.
She's definitely
Yeah.
like part of the
No, it's
epicenter
true.
of. I mean, like, okay, I respect her. I like she's a great businesswoman. She like she's been involved with so many things and like tangent to pop
Yeah.
culture. Like she designed clothing for a lot of people for a
Yeah,
long
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Like really good clothes, and you just like okay, this happened before like she was famous or anything like that. She's doing good
did?
work.
Did she?
What'd she design?
Did Kim
She does
Kardashian
lines
have
with
good?
people, I
but
think.
were they cool or were they like
I
J.C.
don't
Penney kind of shit?
No,
So-
my understanding was like a lot of like
Shout out-
one-off
shout out
pieces.
JC
The real
Penny.
question, like, did she actually design anything, or did she just slap her name?
Is this white
I
label
mean, I
kind
think
of
it's hard
stuff?
to know.
No, well, in order for her to slap on her name on something and it to be popular, that implies she was already, had value behind her name. But she originally started
her
by like
family.
making one-off clothes.
Yeah, from her
for
lawyer
people.
dad.
I'm not saying that I like Kim Kardashian, but I think we might be giving her a little too much credit as far as.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, because you got to think like right now, nowadays, like starting, I don't know, 8 years ago, she just started being famous for being
That's what
famous.
the change of perception of her over the last few years, like is
She-
really crazy.
She plays a
cool to
different
me.
role in pop
kinda
culture now than she used.
She's
Yeah.
kind of the original. Wait, why are you famous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of person.
Not the original, but the most. Like Paris Hilton was.
Well,
kinda
for our
like that, too.
generation,
I
I'd
feel like-
say.
I feel
But
like-
Paris Hilton was this like
Rich party girl.
you are in the Hilton family, like
Yeah.
your Hilton hotels, like oh yeah them, like
Yeah, I
rich,
guess,
that
I guess.
kind of thing. Where you're like
She kind of came out of
we're
nowhere.
like OG Kim Kardashian. It's like like you either go for the Paris Hilton's assistant angle. You're like oh okay interesting, but wait she's not like rich. Then you're like oh yeah her dad was OJ's defense attorney. You're like what? And it's like yeah and he's dead. And you're like how are they famous?
And then Bruce Jenner's her stepdad, who's like the Olympian.
Yeah.
Which yeah like so.
Yeah. I know.
You
what
know,
mean.
like when-
the first
when
episode of Keeping
first-
Up with the Kardashians, me and Riker once watched the first and then the most recent episode.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
They're not that rich. Like they're
No.
rich, but they're just like normal rich people, not
No.
like this like. They're
just have
they're all
access
they're
to a
all
lot of
independently. Like I think Kim's worth like over 150 million, and then they're all worth at least 40. Like the 19-year-old Kylie Jenner is like 20 or something.
Right.
It was worth like 40
So you're
million
saying
or more. I don't know how much it's
the OG
worth, but
episode, they're not that
they're
rich.
not that rich
You
yet.
compare it now.
Now
like-
they're worth millions and millions.
Well, and that's why it's really funny watching her like on Paris Hilton's show because he's like, "Hey Kim, like, can you finish like folding all those clothes and then like we're gonna head out?" And she's like, "Yeah, okay, Paris." And like it's just Kim like
She's
fold,
like her
like
assistant.
organizing her closet and stuff and like
And then her and Kanye, like,
and in the
he's like this
and in the
huge
Fall Out Boy-
cultural icon,
Fall Out Boy
pop
music video.
juggernaut, and then she is, and then they come together and like get married. So then like, who's more besides Beyonce and Jay-Z? Like, who's more of a power pop icon? I don't know.
Well, they have
It's crazy to me.
So they have access and influence to, like, they have access to a lot of stuff. They have influence on a lot of things. So that just implicitly makes them more valuable to pop culture.
Yeah.
Just if as they have more, like, just more eyes on them equals money, like
Kanye
opportunity.
influences music. 808 and Heartbreaks is arguably the most influential album of the 21st century.
wait, which one?
808s and Heartbreaks.
I don't know about that.
808, I don't even, that's not my favorite Kanye album, but that's pretty much definitive if you look up anything. Everything Drake has ever made is based off 808s and Heartbreaks.
I'd say anything that had to do with the loudness war has anything to do with pop culture, pop music.
808s and Heartbreaks is so influential. It completely changed what rap was.
Okay.
Rap did not.
I
be what
wouldn't
it
say
is today
music
because
like
of
as a
808s.
whole, but like
Okay, hip hop.
music as a whole.
But what's
the 90s defined
what's
music
the most,
as a whole.
What's by far the most popular genre of music
I think Nick disagrees with
today? Yeah, he's wrong.
Like pop.
Zane Lowe and
hip-hop,
John
yeah.
Mayer said that in that Beats One interview.
I mean, okay, like
They don't-
whatever. Doesn't mean a whole lot to me personally. Like whatever.
It's a really, really influential album. It's my least favorite Kanye West album, but it's so influential.
What? Which one? 808s and Heartbreaks.
808s and Heartbreaks. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, man.
It's crazy influential in hip hop.
In hip hop.
And
okay.
hip hop, I would say, is the most popular music genre of the last 10 years.
I don't know. If you're talking about hip hop influence, I'd say
yeah.
that all happened in the 80s, and it always will be in the 80s.
808s didn't happen in the 80s. Oh, I mean, like current
It's a
hip hop.
direct.
You
It's a
mean
direct
hip-hop's
reflection.
Of hip-hop in the
influence
80s?
over-
Any hip hop today or in the 90s is a reflection of hip hop in the 80s because nowadays, if you look at
No.
look at hip hop today, it's sampling shit from the 80s. It's all
It's
sounds that
sampling
original.
soul samples and stuff, but not hip hop from the 80s.
Yeah, if
Sometimes.
anything,
I
It's,
guess.
it's sampling a lot of
If
like.
anything, it's
Sometimes,
well,
but no.
Let's just take it like the name 808s. Like, do you know what the 808 was?
I know what an 808 is, yes.
Yeah, dude, like that era, like all the gear that was used back then, like influences sound today. Like literally is
Obviously
the same
influences,
sound.
but like no rap album sounded like 808s and Heartbreaks before 808s and Heartbreaks. And a lot of people didn't like it, partially because of that, and because it wasn't like Kanye barely raps on that album, honestly, but it's still hip hop.
Oh, because you're talking about like the more like cohesive production of everything. Like,
Yeah, the way
okay.
it was produced changed how people produce hip hop.
I think
Okay,
even
all
that.
right.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
see what you're saying. Yeah.
If you
Yes.
look at today's hip hop or whatever, you say, oh, it was all based off of 80s hip hop. If you look at the 80s hip hop, it's like, oh, it was all based off
I
of
went
jazz.
to
from,
the hat store
like,
and
yeah.
pop
Well, yeah. I mean,
It's like-
but you could say the
that's
same thing.
basically just how life is. Everything is just a reflection of the thing from when those people were impressionable.
Although I would say that the whole cloud rap trend definitely goes a little more back to those kind of 80s anthem kind of ideas with a lot more of like an overarching soundscape with then kind of the rap just like where it fits.
Right,
you
but
know?
was in the 80s was that original?
Well, it was because in the 80s, all I had to work with, like, if you look at a lot of hip hop songs, it was like a loop, and then when the verse came in, they would duck all the high and mids, so it was just like the low end of the music.
it's called
And
the
then they would-
breakdown. It was in the
Yeah.
late 70s. They would do the breakdown, which was the beat where no one was singing.
Oh, right,
And
right,
then
right.
they
Yeah,
would-
that was
That's
so-
why they had the two.
the two
boards.
turntables,
Yeah,
right?
the
Yeah, they
two
would mix
turntables.
between the two, and then they would swap.
And
Yeah.
you
But
can
all
argue
they
that
had to
most of the plugins that people are using are all just like derivative samples from like 80s synths and stuff
Well,
like
all
that.
these plugins are,
Well, I mean,
are
that's like a lot of
emulators
them.
of real hardware.
Look at
Right.
lo-fi hip hop, where that came from. That was
Lo-fi, it's a study
essentially.
too.
Is that a real genre?
Yeah, I mean,
is that a real thing?
sure.
Well, lo-fi was in the 80s.
I mean,
was
it's a
kind of
meme, but
where
it's also
it
a genre.
originated from. Was the hip hop of people taking these blues or these various
It was
different,
disco mostly.
like samples and mixing them into their hip hop beats.
I kind of wish people would like commit to lo-fi hip hop actually being like
Lo-fi
lo-fi.
hip hop beats to relax and study too.
As
yeah.
far as it being like,
Well, a lot
No,
of
like friggin' export that shit at like 128, you know, and like make it kind of grainy and shitty sounding.
Well,
You
that's
know?
what they do, right?
But the
Well,
bur-
I want them to burn it onto a tape and then burn that tape back onto the computer and
Lo-fi-
then upload it again. You know, like
your lo-fi plugin just cuts some lows, adds harmonic distortion and some wow and flutter, and there's your.
I want
lo-fi sound.
organic.
But when
I want
hip-hop
organic
started,
lo-fi.
Right.
the rapper wasn't the star. The DJ was the star.
Well, yeah.
That's how it started, and then
Yeah.
it like slowly became the MC became the like star of rap.
Well, you got like the duos going on then. You had
yeah,
like your.
Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Well, yeah, and that's he's the DJ.
They
and
had
the
a
rapper.
huge.
kind
Their
of.
first album was huge.
Yeah, but that kind of stuff was like a little bit.
and the Beastie Boys.
And who was there first?
The best.
Who was their first DJ?
The best Jewish hip hop group of all time.
Who was their first DJ?
I don't know.
Rick Rubin.
Okay.
Wait, was he really their first DJ?
Yeah, do you know Rick Rubin's story is crazy? No, he like DJ'd for them a little bit.
I know Rick Rubin. I know a lot more about the reasons I don't like Rick Rubin though.
Rick Rubin.
Because he don't know
For
shit
for
about
those who
audio.
don't know, I don't know if like Colin and Nick
I don't know.
Rick Rubin is the founder of Def Jam Records, and he was essentially the first person to. A lot of people consider him the first person to like take the sound of hip hop that was happening at the clubs in New York and put it on a record successfully. And he was just like some kid in his NYU dorm room, started a record label, and it would be like he'd throw these and he stayed at NYU while he owned Def Jam, so he like still lived in the dorm room, and he would like throw these parties in his NYU dorm, and it'd be like the Beastie Boys are partying in his dorm room with them and shit.
But he also is like linked to like most folks like familiar with the Loudness War would point to him and he's kind of like solely responsible for like ruining digital music for a long time until like recent years when people started valuing dynamic range. I mean, the whole Loudness War, that he's like kind of the epicenter.
I think
of
he
that.
wasn't trying to.
He was trying to. That the only reason you create something louder in a studio is a very deliberate. It's a very deliberate action. You have to want. To do
I think,
that.
but he wasn't saying you all have to do this too. This is just what I'm doing.
Yeah, but by saying this is what I'm doing, the reason why they were doing that was because it was like, this will sound better. People like we're gonna trick people into thinking things sound better than they actually are by increasing how loud they perceive it to be.
That sounds smart.
And that, but it makes it sound like garbage.
I mean, it worked.
Because it sold albums, but that's not the reason.
He's Rick
why
Rubin.
they sold. People weren't buying albums because it was Rick Rubin, though. They were buying it because it was.
I think they were without them knowing it. I think the producers are a very important role.
He influenced. Yeah, it was him and a bunch of other producers, but he kind of like spearheaded that thing. Audio engineers, kind of as a whole, have like the whole community has decided like he doesn't know the fuck what he's doing about like mastering and audio in general. He may know what he's doing as a DJ and composer,
but like
whatever comes out of that studio, I'm not a fan of.
yeah, no, I got you. I
Like,
mean, we
look
could go
at-
back and forth on this all day.
Yeah, just look at a waveform.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's your answer.
But he
like,
has like produced very iconic albums, and you can't really. I think he did Paul's Boutique, which is like.
Yeah, but I would argue a lot of that had to do with the music themselves. Like if you look at the
I mean, you can
musicians,
always
like
argue it, but I think the
pretty-
producer plays a huge role.
they do play a huge role in this. Like
Nick, look
in
up
the
a picture of
whole
Rick
process.
Rubin. It's also crazy that this dude
Oh yeah,
is
that's
is
the
like
tribute
so
story.
renowned in hip hop music, and what Rick Rubin looks like
He's a
is
super
hilarious.
like nerdy looking dude, right?
No, he looks like
He looks like a deadhead.
yeah, he looks like a deadhead essentially. He looks like he lives in like Boulder
Yeah.
and smokes weed every day. Which I mean, he lives in LA and probably smokes weed every day.
RUBIN.
Yeah, RUBIN.
Yep, that's
Oh yeah, I've seen this dude. Yeah.
He's like the guy. Yeah,
Classic.
He's like WoW addict. high elf.
And Frank Ocean.
It looks like he belongs on Duck Dynasty.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He produced like was one of the producers in Yeezus.
He produced a lot of
He's
really
produced
important
a lot
things.
of things. Yeah. Rick Rubin's the dude. I
But
really
he's
like
also
him.
one of those guys that's like, no, fuck tape, fuck hardware. I'm going to do everything on a laptop.
Yeah, you obviously know way more about audio engineering than I do, so I'm not gonna like pretend. There
No,
it is.
yeah,
Jay-Z and Rick Rubin recorded 99 Problems.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's done a lot of really important. He's got like look up
And Def Jam
anyone
is a
listening to
huge
this
label.
or watching this. You should watch an interview with the guy. It's very insightful. He's a really smart guy.
You know what's a really good interview is the David Letterman's new show. David Letterman's new show on Netflix.
Yeah.
When he interviews Jay-Z, he goes to Shangri-La Studios, which is Rick Rubin, the
Wow.
studio Rick Rubin bought.
His 2010s.
Oh, he bought it.
Shangri-La was like an iconic. I don't know if it was called Shangri-La, but it was
Art
like
Pop.
an iconic studio before he bought it. I guess.
Okay, I
It was like
Paradise.
Sound City was like an iconic studio before other people bought it.
What is
Right,
the
right.
show called? The Netflix show.
My Next Guest, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the Avett Brothers.
Oh, right,
Even
yeah.
Ed Sheeran. Like he's done so much shit.
So just look at the spread of genres. like-
Paradise.
which is amazing. Like it's
Life of
amazing.
Cash.
Life of Pablo.
He's influenced so
Lady
much.
Gaga.
Johnny Cash,
Star,
They're not
Star Wars Headspace.
James Blake, The Color and Everything.
Josh Groban. That is, dude. Anything Josh Groban
He did Life of
sounds
Pablo?
pretty good.
How much
He
Life of
does
Pablo?
stuff on Life of Pablo.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guy worked on a lot of crazy shit.
He definitely like whether you like or love what he's done. Like you have to respect how much he's done and how committed to music he was.
Looking at how many things he's worked on, he has to be good to work with. You know what I mean? Like people have
Yeah,
to
he
really
seems like a
want
cool
to.
guy.
Yeah.
He seems like a cool guy to work with because this many people
Slayer.
wouldn't. Oh yeah, the Mars Volta. There's some stuff he did that were really good, but like some of the stuff, like the Mars Volta stuff, like he didn't have that much to do with. You know what I mean? Like he was in there, but someone else was engineering it.
I like Jake Bug too. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. What's like the most iconic studio as an audio engineer that you would like want to work in? Like mine, the studio that I've always dreamed of being in is Electric Ladyland,
Sound City.
Oh no,
which is Jimi Hendrix's studio
No,
he
no, no.
built and then never got to work in because he died.
Oh yeah.
I want that. I want Dave Grohl.
Sound City would
Dave
be
Grohl
crazy.
and his board.
So
I
the
want that
Neve-
board.
I think they did all of Nevermind in Sound City, right?
Yeah, that was Sound City.
Dude, they did.
There's a lot of stuff in.
I
Sound
remember.
Oh yeah, all like the '90s grunge was like Sound
But
City.
just the amount of albums recorded on that one board.
Yeah.
I remember them going through like a list of like 30 of them in the documentary, and it was like, what?
There's more.
And the thing's like priceless.
You
Like,
know
it just doesn't.
You know the only other board like it
You know that
lives in
story?
Mesa.
You know that story?
Really?
Flying Blanket Studios has the
Yeah,
sister
they have the,
board to
they
it.
have the other one.
That's cool.
The Neve 8084, whatever, 4084, whatever it's called.
What the fuck is that board done?
I don't, my
lazy.
friend's band recorded
Lot of
there.
shit.
Fucking black sheep.
I've worked on that board before. It's just a dude we used to repair
Diet-
this all the
Diet-
time.
Diet Soda Society.
No.
A lot of people believe that like a lot of like musicians like, and I think this goes in with a synesthesia type of thing, which is like you see, like your senses are crossed.
Yeah.
That's what synesthesia is. But that like specific cities and specifically specific places have like this vibe where it's like very conducive to create amazing music
Yeah,
or
I'm
amazing
sure.
art. So like people think LA is like incredibly conducive for that. For some reason, there's something in the air. Like Pharrell, I heard an interview where Pharrell was talking about it. And he's like, it's crazy how conducive LA is to creativity.
Yeah, and even if it's like a superstition, dude, if it makes you work, if a place
Yeah,
makes a lot of
yeah.
people work better, then it makes a lot of people work better.
Yeah.
And there's something to
Whether
it.
it's real or not, I like the idea of it.
Yeah, and like I think a lot of grungier studios do that too. Like I've
Totally.
been to a couple
the
of
one
like
with history.
yeah, and like East West Studios is kind of like a cross between that because like the building looks old and shitty and it's like on Sunset and it's like anything on Sunset's a little bit grungy and dirty. Like even if it's nice and pretty, it's like pretty
Yeah, yeah.
grungy and dirty. East West Studios, if I had to pick a studio to like spend a lot of time in, that'd be it. Just because so much stuff is done there.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
for sure.
but yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, like, even as far as like the studio itself goes, that console has a lot to do with it. Like, it really like whether you're recording to tape or digital, like that really has a big impact too. Like, if you're doing anything analog on a
Yeah.
tape, you're just like, are you sure? Do you want this take? Do you like it, or do you want to redo literally everything live? Are you cool with that? Because you have to make
Yeah.
that. It like makes you work differently.
Totally. Is that it's analog, right?
Yeah. But like just the
Yeah.
like,
I have a friend who did audio engineering at Berkeley for a while.
Oh,
And
yeah,
he said
okay.
he had like friends who would like exclusively they would only do analog. That's it.
the last album Chris and I did was for Gram Negative. That was only analog.
Really?
That was all we had to work with though. But we were like, all right, well, we're recording. We overdubbed the vocals like later, but all the instrumentation was analog to tape,
Yeah.
and it was like, okay, but there's something like it makes you actually play well versus like multi-tracking and slapping
Yeah.
everything together. You can make it sound however you want, but it makes it sound like you weren't playing in the same room together.
For sure.
But like, yeah, I mean, a lot of those rooms are like that, especially some like place with history, where they just kind of left everything the way it is. I think that's part of it too. Is just like, it's kind of, they leave you pretty limited, in a good way.
Yeah. It makes you want to live up to something.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
I
that is really cool.
think that's all I have to say. But that just beyond that starts to get into like audio engineer wankery. But But there's definitely something to like, L.A. Anytime I'm
Yeah.
in L.A., I'm
And
like,
and,
I
and
should
Seattle,
be,
you know.
Yeah, I'm
Seattle in the '90s, like
Yeah.
obviously there was something going on there. There was
Yeah.
something in the water.
I even hear people from like that live in Seattle these days, like when when they go to concerts and stuff, like they feel more inspired than they usually do.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of pointless to think about like why that is. Like if you feel more inspired, like you do.
Yeah, and there's like things where like if you hear a band is from Seattle, that's just not surprising. It's not weird.
Yeah.
Like you expect bands to be from Seattle. If you hear a band is from Phoenix, you're like, oh really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Even
weird.
like being from here.
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
Oh, they're from Phoenix.
Because they're just like, it's just not. There are music cities, and this is not one.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh has some rap. Like a lot of people come out of it. Like rap artists come out of it.
Really. Philadelphia
Yeah.
is like big with metal. A lot of
Yeah.
live
Atlanta's
albums were
big with
recorded.
rap,
Yeah.
which I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
basically started with Outkast.
Yeah, Dallas
Yeah.
is like big with metal and like stoner rock. I don't know what it is about Dallas. It's also a big city, so there's like probably more people.
Like
Akron,
Nashville,
Ohio.
Nashville, Akron. Akron's weird because like
Akron is
it's not even just music. It's
Like-
like everything.
Yeah, you meet like a weird person. They're like, "Oh, I'm from Akron, Ohio."
Yeah,
Like
everyone's from
Slipknot is from
Akron.
Akron too. Like
Slipknot's from Akron. Black Keys are from Akron.
Yeah.
Like
it's such a
by
wide
far,
range.
like by far the most astronauts are from Akron, Ohio.
Oh, really?
yeah,
really
like weird
weird.
stuff.
Oh, I didn't know
weird
that.
stuff is from Akron.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, like even I don't know when I hear of a band and I hear they're from L.A., it seems like kind of a oddity
Given.
sometimes.
Oh yeah, they're from LA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're from LA. Like, Tool, you're
Most
just like,
they
okay,
moved to LA.
Yeah, a lot of people moved to LA.
Isn't Tyler the Creator from LA?
Yeah, I think it's from Ladera Heights. Maybe.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty weird.
He worked in that Starbucks for 2.5 years.
Wait, what part of LA?
I think Ladera Heights. I think
Oh, okay.
In Frank Ocean, isn't
he's
he?
from New Orleans,
Oh, okay.
but he got famous in LA.
Right, right.
Dude, cities are weird like that.
Cities are weird. I think it's cool that like places have vibes.
Yeah, especially like the whole studio thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Is that,
How
We
long?
got anything?
How long have we been going?
That's a hour and 21.
huh.
Yep, Howard
Well,
21 on here
That was
too.
fast.
Did we start recording at the same time for once?
I don't know, probably pretty close.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hour and
pretty.
21, 40.
Oh, nice.
That's hilarious.
Oh, look at that.
I'm so excited for Kanye's
You-
album.
usually-
I wanted it to drop like while we were doing this.
Oh,
That'd
yeah.
be sweet.
I wonder,
Join us next week.
Oh, I didn't check. I
does
meant
it
to
hit
check.
like at midnight? Is that how that works?
Sometimes it'll be like 9.
Maybe we'll be at Gay Tacos when
Also, last paycheck.
Oh, hell yeah.
also last paycheck.
last paycheck and last day to use our.
Last paycheck.
Yeah, I used one this morning.
Wait, lift yourself. Hold on, you left.
Oh no, that's
no, don't
Yes.
listen. Don't listen.
Hell yeah. Listen to that.
Whoopity poop.
I was like, wait. Played that for my family the other day.
Kanye is so crazy. I know we've already talked about this, but like the cultural icon that he is, and then like H&M's whole line is basically a ripoff of like past Yeezy lines at this point. Like everything he does just influences everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, the
I hated
Dodgers I got
Kanye till
there.
like 3 years ago, and
Wait,
now
really?
he's like one of my favorite artists.
He didn't really even.
I didn't
kinda-
hate him, but I just didn't like him.
I knew about him, but I didn't
I
really
don't like,
pay
I don't
attention
like his
to him.
clothing that much.
Really, I like a lot of these.
What
I don't
about
like.
his
I don't
shoes?
really like boosts.
I just don't like a lot of streetwear in general. I think it's. I think it's.
I think that's like kind of like broad to say. That's like saying I don't like rock and roll.
Yeah, but
That's
if
why I
you
said I don't like a lot of the streetwear.
Yeah, I think.
like some
but
of
like
the-
streetwear has separate genres within it.
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah, like normcore, tech wear,
But if
hype
you-
beast.
if you go on r/streetwear,
well, no one likes that. They're all idiots.
well, I mean, okay.
That's not real
Take
streetwear.
that, Reddit.
I don't know enough about streetwear to be able to differentiate.
I like normcore, which is
Fine.
essentially Shia LaBeouf.
Okay, so then if you want to make it more specific, I don't like most or pretty much anything in Kanye's actual clothing lines.
What about the Yeezys?
I mean,
Yeezy 350s.
I mean, there's a reason
I
I,
don't like
have. There's a
Yeezys.
reason I haven't bought any.
Well, because
I mean, they're
$220.
yeah, really hard to get too.
I mean, yeah, but
It would also look weird with the rest of your look, you know?
I don't know. You could power
You can pull
phases.
them off.
Power
Yeah.
phases.
I mean, yes and no. I wear a lot of black. I wear a lot of black pin rolled denim.
Somebody say power phases.
The worst power
You wearing
phases.
power phases? Oh, shit.
Everyone hates those.
These are the second worst after the grays.
No, the Grace were he sold for way more than those. When the grays came out, people were like, "Oh, I actually like these. I didn't think I was gonna like them, but I do." When the blacks came out, everyone's like, "Yep, those suck. Those look like waiter shoes."
The white ones are the coolest. The black ones are the second. The grays are the worst ones.
No, the grays are the second. The whites are the coolest. Yeah, he influenced a lot. I mean, Kanye has also changed his clothing lines over time a lot. So
He also wears some strange stuff that doesn't really fall into
right
that
now, he pretty
category
much just wears like
sometimes.
sweatpants.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf is my like clothing icon. I think Shia LaBeouf dresses so cool.
You should copy the facial hair. The
I
Shia
can't. I
LaBeouf.
can't do it.
I know.
So now that we don't have a job, you should just grow something.
Grow my retirement beard.
Yeah, grow.
Dude, yeah. Dude, I grew the neglect beard, and I just shaved it off, yesterday. I had the,
I'm
Controlled
going home
neglect.
to shave tonight, or we'll trim this.
yeah. I got a haircut finally.
Congratulations.
I was going to grow it out, but then I was,
I'm glad you
legitimately,
didn't.
for job interviews, they were like, you should cut your hair
Yeah.
before you interview again.
I feel like I should too.
I'm like, okay.
Nick, you quiet
Alright.
boy.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have a beard. Well, you do have a beard.
He doesn't have a beard.
No, you don't have hair to shave. You don't have hair to cut, and you shouldn't cut your beard. Nope. He's perfect.
Is that all for us, folks?
I think.
think
It's
so.
all for me.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. This is brought to you by Squarespace and GoDaddy and
Domain.com.
Downame and Dollar Shave Club.
That's
so-
the one
And,
film Ride
Hilton
always did.
Hotels.
Domain.com.
And Squarespace. They do a lot of Squarespace.
Hilton Hotels.
What's a watch brand?
Movement, aka just buying crappy AliExpress quartz movements and still going with it.
Oh, please visit iOffer if you want any any knockoff designer wear.
Well, all right. So that should do it for the end of episode 7, right?
Hey Pat, thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks, Pat.
Been a hell of a day.
Appreciate it. And
Eight.
yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, kids.
Bye.